Who won it? Who won it? Which nigga little goon getting stewed with the onion?
I really hope the lighting's alright and them things there and them things square. I feel like I have been feeling really anxious to talk about this, and I'm not really an anxious person, and I feel like since having my son, I've become very anxious and very like on edge about certain things, and it's really weird to me to feel this way. I've been putting off talking about this for ages because I just feel like mentally I was not in the right space. Having a little boy, a little black boy, it hits different. Like when you hear, this is what's so frustrating, is that like this has been going on, and I don't want to get upset and emotional because I feel like I'm coming my period. Like I don't even know if she's here yet, if she's coming, but I feel really emotional, and I feel like I didn't want to talk on something that I'm not like functioning with properly. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to talk about something that I'm going through at the moment, because it's like when you're going through it, it's hard to find the words, and I literally feel like that's happened. I feel like racism has been going on. Like I feel like I've experienced it from being young, from being an adult to now. Like to going on holiday with Lloyd and just like having people say negras. Like we went to Spain and these little kids were calling us negras. We went to a water park. Everybody stared at us. Like, you have to be strong in this world when you're a black person, or you're a black woman, black man. Like, I feel like you need to be strong because this has been going on. Like, from young, my mom's always said to me, like, you've got to work double as hard. And it's just, it makes me sad that, like, we have to be told that. Do you know what I mean? Like, why can't I just work? Why can't I just work at the level that I want to work? Like, why do I have to push extra hard to just be able to be accepted, shall I say, or just to be able to be seen? Like, it's just a lot. And to experience, like, to go to shops and have people like following you around the shop, and for people to be staring at you a certain way. Like, I remember in one of my jobs that I used to work in Miss Selfridge. Like, you guys always get on to me, like, how many jobs did you work? Guys, I'm a hustler, baby. I just want you to know. I don't think that's even the words. I've been hustling, so I've been in and out of jobs, and it is what it be. Do you know what I mean? So I was working at Miss Selfridge. This mixed race girl came in, and we didn't have her shoe size. She wanted a certain shoe. The shoe was like an unlimited... like it was a limited edition. Can I even find the words? It was a limited edition line, right? So the sizes were very limited. Duh. And I explained to her, like, oh madam, we don't have a size 6. And this is what really pisses me off, is that when you're working in a job and you can sense that the person's going to be racist, or the person's being very like disrespectful, and you know that's because of your colour, it sucks that we make ourselves like smaller just to be like, oh no, I need my job, or I need to pay my bills, or it aggravates me that we just dim down our light for people. For what? Cool. So cool, we didn't have a size, and then obviously it ended in her calling me a black cunt. That's how you spell it. Yeah, a black beep, because I didn't have her shoe size. And I remember going to my manager, who's white, and telling her, and her being like, oh, it's really disrespectful that she did that to you. Like, they barred her from the store, but then a couple of weeks later, like, she was back in the store. And this is what I mean, is that, like, when it comes to racism, and when you have like a manager or a supervisor that's not black, they don't get it. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Like, you could have the most educated white friend in the world, you will never understand how it feels to be black, to experience racism when you're black. You will never understand. And I feel like it just shows that they don't understand with how they, you know, how they answer to, like, when you express that someone's been racist. It's like so disrespectful, you know? It's just, it's not on. And I want to say I'm tired, but this has been going on for like years on end. I worry about, I'm going to get emotional. No, you don't want to cry on YouTube. You don't want to cry on YouTube. You don't want to cry on YouTube. push it in, push it all the way in. Like when you're a black woman who's going out with a black man, and there's been times where Lloyd will be at a shoot or wherever and he's like not picking up my call. The first thing I think is, oh my God, he's dead. Like something's happened to him. Like he's been pulled over. I don't even know. Like the first thing I always think about is he's in danger. And like, why should I think that just because he's not picking up the phone? Like, why is that the first thing I think when he's not picking up his phone? And that's because he's black. And these are the things that like you kind of program your mind to be like, to think of the worst that could happen, because this is what we go for as black people. Like people look at us weird because of the colour of our skin. People all of a sudden want everything is cocoa butter infused, and like all these freaking brands that I see like taking what we have in our culture and making money off it. Like all of a sudden you guys now want to smell sweet like cocoa butter and you want your skin to glow and stuff. But before, when we were younger, people used to laugh like, why'd your face so shiny? Why do you smell like, why'd you, like they used to get on, I remember in school, like people used to say like, why'd your face so shiny, or why do you smell like that? But now you want to smell like that. It's just, and it's like they take things from us and don't give us credit, and it just goes on and on and on. And it's like, now that I've got a little black boy, it's when I hear about racism, it makes me so scared, because I think about like Baby Lloyd going into this world and having to deal with people being racist just because of the colour of his skin, something that he can't change, and his skin is beautiful. Like every shade of black is beautiful. I actually want to be darker. Like I just feel like I'm going off on a tangent. Seeing the protests and seeing innocent black people being murdered by police on the street and us begging for justice, like it's murder and we're having to ask for justice. Are you kidding me? There's video footage of people dying, being murdered on the streets in broad daylight, but we have to ask for justice. Like, deep it. If I went out now and killed the guy across the road, would anybody need to ask for justice? It would be point blank. They wouldn't even need video footage. It would just be like, oh, you know, we heard that you did this, so you're now going to jail for life. Like the way they treat us compared to white people and people, and what really irritates me is when people say, but you know, like Asians go through like racism, and like I'm like, you know, I'm from, you know, Poland, and I go through stuff. We're not talking about you. We're talking about black people. Why can't we just speak about black people? Why is it always we have to always include people? When it's adverts on the TV of like a white couple going to take out a mortgage, why it's so random, but why is it you never see black people taking out a mortgage on an advert? It's all, everything you see on the TV, in the adverts, when you go to Superdrug, everything is, obviously nowadays it's different because, you know, now that it's more diverse and and it's wonderful that it's more diverse. But I'm saying like the majority of the time when I turn on the TV, I see a white face all the time. So why is it that that's okay, but now when black people want to do something for themselves, or only for black people to understand, it's now like, no, but what about everybody else? What about all lives matter? All lives will only matter when Black Lives Matter. Like, I read a quote somewhere and it was like, people were saying that like George Floyd was like the wake up call, but I feel like the quote was like saying that every single murder that's happening in America, everyone's snoozing it. Everybody's pressing the snooze button. Everyone's pressing the snooze button. So it wasn't a wake up call. Everyone has just been, not everyone, but I'm saying like the system has just been pressing snooze on all the people that have been murdered on the street by police, and murdered in general for the colour of their skin and for being black. And I say being black because that's all I'm talking about, is being black. Like even being on YouTube, I've received so many racist comments. I've had people call me monkey, baboon. I've even been called like a monkey when I was younger as well. Like it's what we've been going through, and I didn't want to speak up on it just because everybody else was speaking up on it. And I feel like so many companies, I'm not even going to get, oh my God, so many companies that have no black people in their company. You don't look at black people and respect black people on a day-to-day basis. But now this has happened, it's like, oh, like, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Was Black Lives Mattering when you were asking a black person to change their hair at work? Or was Black Lives Mattering when you were discriminating a black person at work? Like, you're only saying Black Lives Matter because everybody else is, and you don't want to be seen as a racist. There's no point putting a black screen on Instagram if you're not going to use your voice, or you're not going to action, you're not going to act like you like black people. Like, day to day, you're grabbing your bag as you get on the train, like you're pulling your bag, like, no, when you sit next to a black person. But all of a sudden, because all your influencer friends are now saying Black Lives Matter, you want to jump on it, but you don't like black people, so just own it. You're an absolute hypocrite. For anybody who's been doing that, who doesn't take time to understand our culture, but then all of a sudden you want to be like, oh my, yeah, black, like, it's disgusting what's happening. It's been happening. Like, where it's like George Floyd got murdered, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh my God, racism. There's racism about. Are you kidding me? It's funny how, like, last week there were so many mixed race. This is going to be so jumbled, and I'm so sorry, but you guys know that I'm just running off my head. Like, I had stuff in my phone, but then I thought, do you know what? I'm going to come and talk genuinely, because you guys know that I speak raw. I'm not going to try and write stuff down in my phone and read off it and be very, like, correct and everything. Like, this is how I've been feeling, and it is what it is. And I hope that, you guys can relate to, like, this feeling. What was I going to say? Yeah, there were so many mixed race influencers. I have to laugh because it's like, there were so many mixed race influencers on Instagram saying, like, being mixed race, like, I feel as if you have never once spoke about being mixed race on your page, on your channel, anywhere. You have never ever tapped into being black, going through racism. You've never ever spoke about it, but all of a sudden it's like, yeah, being mixed race. One time somebody looked at me weird. Why have you never spoke up about it? And the thing that irritates me is that the people who are mixed race and that you've experienced racism, you should have been speaking up about it from ages, because you tap into both markets, black and white. You should be talking about it, about what you go through on either side. Like, I just don't understand. I feel like it's so fake. Like, there's companies that fire black people who aren't even hiring black people, that are saying Black Lives Matter. You don't care about us. You don't. Like, companies are selling merch for like double the price that say Black Lives Matter. You're trying to make money off an issue that we've been going through. I'm getting annoyed. There's certain things that we go through as black people that only we will understand. Like, oh my God, like answering the phone and organising a meeting. Like, this actually happened to me. I used to work on a reception, right, at one of the shops that I used to work in, right? And I remember I organised a meeting with this woman to come and collect something. So when she came in, she was like, hi, I'm here to see Ria. So I was like, yeah, that's me. She goes, oh, I didn't think that you... Oh. So instantly, like, I already know, like, so many people say to me, oh, you don't sound black, or I didn't expect you to look like that. And I always make them feel awkward, because it's like, when you're stuttering and you're going red and you're like, oh, I didn't expect you to, I used to say, be tall, be skinny. You didn't expect me to be what? How can you just come out like that and just voice it? Like, what does black sound like? Did you think I was going to be, yeah, man, in a quick walk? Like, what stereotypical voice did you think you were going to hear on the phone? Like, why can't black people speak good English? Why can't we pronounce words properly? Like, what do you see when you look at us that you think that I can't just speak English because I'm black? Like, it's the most racist thing ever. I've experienced that so many times, and every single time I'm going to make you feel embarrassed. And I'm not even going to raise my voice or make you feel like I'm being aggressive, because then it's going to be like, is she so aggressive? Like, she basically swung for me? I've had I used to go to I mean, I wouldn't say that the whole school was white, because I had a couple of friends in school that were black. That obviously we were outnumbered, obviously. Because I went to, I'm not going to say the school, but anyway, the majority of the students were white. And I remember this girl came back from Spain or wherever she went from and put her arm against mine and goes, I'm darker than you. Your skin colour will never amount to the amount of melanin I've got in my skin. You will never be able to be my skin tone, ever. Our skin tone is not our skin tone isn't just like a look. It comes with so much more, and this is what aggravates me, is that people are like, I'm wearing fake tan, I'm basically darker than you. My skin tone isn't just a tone. It comes with history, it comes with pain, it comes with love, it comes with so much. It's not just that. And the fact that you're able to, or feel confident to say, I'm darker than you, is disgusting. How are you trying to compare it?
Fuck your feelings, I mean this for imposters.
I feel like I'm getting into a jumble, and like I'm trying to say something and it's just not coming out right, and things I've eaten, so I just don't know what's going on. I feel like because I'm so passionate, I'm just finding it hard to like articulate the words of that I'm trying to find. Anyway, I just feel like as a whole, our culture has just been stolen. The music, our language, our hairstyles, our smell, our skin, everything. And it's just like, people look at it and think, and I'm saying non-black people will look at it and think, oh yeah, it's just a hairstyle. Like, it's not just yours. It is. It is ours. I used to get, I remember once my mum did Bantu knots for me to go to school. And I remember people laughed at me. And I used to question, like, why would my mum do my hair like this? And now you see people copying it and calling it like, God no, like giving all these like fancy dancy names of things that you've stolen from black people. And it's just, it's just mind-boggling. Like, I always think about like, what would life be if we had our own YouTube like that was for black people only? How would it be if we had like a Spotify that was just a black Spotify, like only black people, platforms for only black people? Like, imagine if we only bought from black businesses. Like, think about how powerful we would be if we had that. Because with black, I feel like nothing strives without black people. I feel like when we love something, we are loyal and we will put other people onto it and we will promote. But imagine if it was, imagine if we were just promoting our things for solely black people. I just want all of you to stay safe. I want you guys to stay sane. Tap out of Instagram or Twitter if you need to. If it's too much for your mental health, step back. Don't feel like you have to constantly post and constantly, you know, use your voice, because it's tiring. Like, I feel like with me, when George Floyd got murdered, so many people were sending me stuff like, oh, I feel like you should put this on your story. Like, bro, you are dehumanizing me. Is that a word? If it's not, I just made it up. And if I've got it wrong, it is what it is. You are dehumanizing me. Like, I'm a human being. Do you think that this is not a lot for me? Anyway, with that being said, I just hope that you guys all stay safe. Black lives have always mattered. Always. Like, it's not just something that, you know, it's just come up all of a sudden. They've always mattered. Do you know what I mean? And they should have mattered ages ago when Sandra Bland got murdered. Eric Garner, the list goes on of all the people that have been murdered by police or by racists. I'm glad that people are speaking up now, but it's been a long time coming, do you know what I mean? And racism, it's not just something that came up out the floor yesterday. It's been happening. But yeah, God bless you all. Please stay safe, stay sane. Please don't forget there's a virus that's still going around. I understand, I really do respect people who are protesting and out here using their voice, but be safe while doing that, because when people catch the virus, you might be able to survive it and you might be strong and have an amazing immune system, but our parents and grandparents don't. So be mindful of when you're rubbing against other people, who you're bringing it home to and who might catch it. Yeah, God bless you guys always. Thank you for rocking out with me all the time. I appreciate you. I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube life. I'm still trying to figure out where my stamp is. I'm still trying to figure out like how to be a mom and juggle being a content creator at the same damn time, but we move. I really do appreciate you guys for still commenting, even though I haven't been posting. But hopefully I'm back. Yeah, I needed to come and talk about this before I spoke about another subject, because I feel like, how dare I have something on my mind or on my heart and not speak about it? It doesn't make sense. It's fake. It's so fake. I can't just come and be like, oh, I hate the floorboards, if I haven't spoken about something that our people are going through, are still going through, have been going through, and hopefully the next generation won't have to go through this, because my baby boy, I can't. I'll get emotional and I'll start crying. But yeah, love you guys. Toot toot, make sure you subscribe. Bye.
Okay, I'm reloaded.